What's going on, guys? It's Juice Audio, and today I'm reviewing my favorite set of monitors ever made. These funny looking little guys completely changed my mixing career and tuned my ears to listen to what matters most. So I'm gonna talk about it today and why you should buy these. And the speakers are the Avantone Mix Cubes. I know you heard of them, I know you've seen them, but you haven't tried them yet. And these are the few monitors that I recommend to everybody to buy, because if I would have had these a long time ago, I would be in a different position right now, because these monitors bring you back to the basics. They teach you just to listen, not to look. So the funny thing about me is I've actually owned one of these monitors for over 3 years before discovering how amazing they are for mixing. I'm sure you've heard online, oh, you need to level your mixes in mono, you need to mix in mono, check for stereo in mono. And I tried that for about a year or two, and then I gave up with the whole mono thing because mixes nowadays are so wet with reverb and sauced out. Mono mixing doesn't always work, okay? So fast forward of the Mix Cube just sitting on my desk for 2 to 3 years. I go to a different studio and we have a set of stereo Mix Cubes there, right? So I do a mix, it comes out super easy, and I'm not joking, it translated everywhere. And the funny thing is that at that studio, we had a set of $13,000 ATCs, but yet my best mixes were coming out of the Mix Cubes. So what did mixing on these teach me? Well, they completely tuned my ears to have a taste for mid-range. Well, it's not the speaker itself, but what it did is constrain you to a certain portion of the mix that is most important. I know you heard this before, the magic is in the mid-range, but some of you haven't even listened yet. You need to understand that. And I'm not just talking about the studio. I work in live audio as well. I've mixed many live audio shows, and I still work in it today. And after using these, going out to live shows, my ears just have a different taste for sound now, is the way I could describe it. So I wish someone really pressed me to buy these and mix on only these when I first started out, because I would be at a different level right now. So after using these for a long time, it really came down to one thing. All your EQ problems can be solved in the mid-range. It's really funny how if you just put these up and do your whole mix with these, your bass and your high end will make sense once you switch back to your original monitors or headphones. So before we continue, let's get a word from today's sponsor. And a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Frontend Audio. If you're into music production, audio engineering, or just love great gear, these guys are working professionals who understand the gear they're selling. They'll help you pick the right mic for your voice or the best interface for your setup, saving you valuable time of trial and error. From budget gear to boutique analog hardware, they've got everything. Microphones, interfaces, studio monitors to all the cables and accessories you need. Plus, they have free shipping if you spend over $99. These Mix Cubes are available to order. The link is in the description down below. For a long time, beginners have this problem of finding out what actually sounds good. A lot of people just start ending up boosting bass. They start ending up boosting treble because that's where the sparkly is, and it just sounds good, right? But eventually you come to the conclusion what actually sounds good. And the funny thing about these is that they don't have to teach you to what sounds good. It's literally gonna hurt your ears. So these play the mid-range from about 200 to like 8K, and your ears are most sensitive to 1 to 5K. So if anything is loud in 1 to 5K on these, it's gonna hurt your ears. It sounds horrible listening to these on raw mixes, but if you pull up one of your favorite songs, I can guarantee you it sounds amazing on these. You know those old 90s, like Michael Jackson or just classic songs, they sound incredible on these because back then, this is what they used. And moving on today to modern music, even your favorite records will sound amazing on these. But I guarantee you, you pull up a raw mix, it's gonna sound horrible. So it really made me realize and go back to the basics. I'm not even joking, I ditched so many plugins only to go back to the SSL channel strip and SSL bus compressor. I'm not even joking. These two plugins can get you so far in mixing, but the problem is that people always find those shiny plugins that polish the high end or polish the bass, but those things don't translate that much. I primarily mix live music with live instruments, and that's where these shine the most. And like I said, every track can be practically EQ'd by just mixing in the mid-range. And these really made me realize the low mids is where I EQ the most on anything. So when moving on to just the SSL channel strip is that I high pass and low pass a lot more things than I used to. I used to boost the high end or boost the low end. Now I'm high passing and low passing everything. It's so funny how now my mixing is so much simpler, but yet it sounds 10 times better. So now I condense the mix to fit in the mid-range. All my elements now have space around them. So what is so magical about this little box? It's the way it's designed, okay? So it's just one speaker in a sealed box that's 5-inch. If let's say you're mixing on a two-way speaker, your mid-range is between the tweeter and the woofer. So you're mixing half your mid-range on a tweeter and half on a woofer. And this is going to give you artifacts. You're losing a lot of information between that crossover. That's why I love three-way monitors so much, because they have a dedicated mid-range and there's so much more information when mixing on those. And like I mentioned earlier, this box is sealed. So what that allows for is a low group delay. Most woofers with a port have a resonance. So when those woofers with a port play a transient, it rings. It's like a doo, doo. But with a sealed box, it's just doo, doo. The woofer only goes in and out and plays only what is being told. I also noticed like 3 to 5 inch woofers really match the natural timbre of a human's voice. I feel like if our voices were a speaker, they would be a 3 to 5 inch woofer. Another thing about these is that you hear compression like night and day. If vocals are coming in and out of your mix, you know to compress more. If your snare is coming in and out, you know to compress it more. If your snare is too peaky, like it's the transient is poking too much over all the elements, you know to compress it more. It's really simple. It just brings everything back to the basics, EQ and compression. You might be asking, what do you do with the bass? What do you do with the treble? So the thing about these is that once you mix your bass, let's say it's an 808 or a bass guitar, and you don't hear it at all, that means it's not saturating. It's not going to cut or translate on any other speaker, because people don't even have subwoofers most of the time. People don't have speakers that can play below like 80 hertz. Let's say the average car speaker can probably play to like 50. So you want to make sure your bass is translating on these and you hear the full spectrum of your mix on these. So what I personally like to do is, not even joking, 80 to 90% of the mix on these, switch to my main monitors and headphones. Headphones will give you the most accurate bass because the room is not influencing how they sound. And then another thing about these and why I recommend them so much is because your room is not influenced by these. The problem people have in their rooms with the acoustic is in the bass. These don't even play any bass. So you're not going to have that problem of bass buildup or inaccurate bass reproduction. I can show you so many studios across the world that have those massive $100,000, $300,000 main set of monitors, and they never mix on those. I guarantee you're going to see a set of these or Oratones on their desk. And that says a lot in the mixing world. It's something so simple and yet so cheap can get you the farthest. So these mix cubes come in active or passive, and they come in at $500 for the active. They're a little bit cheaper for the passive, but you got to buy an amp. I recommend the actives because they're just easy. They're just plug and play. And they all have this padding on the bottom, so you don't need to really buy any acoustic foam or ISO acoustic stands to put these up. They come in black, cream, or red. The link's in the description if you want to buy these. And if you're in the market looking for some monitors, I have a link down below. I have a guide that I wrote that can help you buy some studio monitors. After testing so many studio monitors on this channel, I have a few of my recommendations down there. So that's it for today's review, the Aventone Mix Cube. And if I'm going to recommend you any monitor, it's going to be these. I'd rather have you buy a $500 set of these and a $500 set of monitors rather than a $1,000 set of monitors, because these completely changed my ears.